Woody had gone right to the police, this would never have happened.
Uh-oh.
So there are liberties being taken. Like, there's going to be an increased amount of shit talk.
Well, thank God you're with your core counsel.
Yeah, get my shit.
I have to remind myself I'm here willingly.
Catch one with a little bit of attitude, big guy.
Man, you champion son.
It's a kangaroo court.
What do you mean how is the NFL a kangaroo court?
Could you please let me explain why?
No, I don't want to hear this garbage. Give me an answer to the questions I asked you.
What the fuck are we doing? You represent something bigger than yourself.
Come on, baby!
Let's go, Buffalo.
Talk to you later.
They are fucking Let Undertaker.
I hate it. I'm out.
Oh boy. Nothing but illustrious guests. But there is sort of a guest tonight, I would say. Welcome to the Third and Manageable podcast. I am your host, Student Body Right. I just broke this fucking piece of shit behind me. Spent like, Matt, I'm sorry if you're watching. Put it, the cause doll behind it just to make sure we're okay. Anyway, we're back to the show. Yo, my name is Student Body Right. You can catch me on Twitter at Student Body RGHT, and I bring on a guy I started this whole rigmarole with, and someone who is filling in tonight for Matt Diger. You can catch him on Twitter at Matt Diger. We got the young Brock guy. He left us, came back, and now he's back on Third and Manageable. What is up, Matt? If you come in, save me from myself. Patty Bruckness, what is up, my brother?
What's up, Student? How you doing tonight? I know I got some big shoes to fill with Matt's absence, but I'm excited.
I think he's only a size 12. You know, I think he's only a size 12. I'm a size 13. So, which brings me to my next point. Anybody under 6'3" should be killed. Genghis Khan, obviously Genghis Khan style. But we got a great one for you tonight. We really do. We're going to do a little business SWOT analysis. There's a lot to cover as we are only, we're a week away, Pat. We're a week away. It's like the first day of my rest of my life. Steel. How do you feel, man?
No, I'm super excited that football's back. You know, obviously,
you get the nervousness out?
Yeah, no, it's cool.
Shake it off. Like, I'll stay up too late. Travis Kelce, Travis Kelce, and Taylor Swift.
Yeah, they got engaged. Happy for them. Two different worlds come together. It's crazy how life works.
Yo, do you get annoyed? Let me ask you this before we really start the show. Do you actually get annoyed while I brush up? Do you get annoyed when they pan to Taylor Swift? I know. Did you see that? Really. Did you see that New Heights podcast where she's just like, I know cover 2, I know cover 3. You know. Like, I thought that was kind of cool when she came in. She's like, I didn't even know what a thirst down was.
Yeah, no, she goes.
Here I called it thirst down.
Josh Allen, go at it. Now she number 2 or 4.
Man, you could see you could see the nervous energy on me right now because like we're no longer out of things to talk about. We have too much to talk about. You know what? And that's going to be tonight's show. We're wrapping up Hard Knocks on Tuesday with the dual. Concerted effort with Trainwreck Sports. Man, we've been on with Mike Bunt. We've been on with Maniac. We've been on with Slick. Have you caught any of that show there, Pat?
Yeah, I've caught on to the first 2 episodes. No, you guys are doing good. I love, the work that we're putting in.
Doing good or doing well?
Yeah, you guys are doing great, actually. It's doing great. I love how you guys, immediate reactions right after Hard Knocks goes live. Kind of the first ones on it and, give their overall opinions on it. It's really cool.
Yeah.
Great idea, by the way. I don't know whose idea it was, but
I'll give you one hint.
Oh, it's you. Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, I got a game up here. Can't encourage it enough. Buffalo versus the World is some of the trivia that we've been playing on here. But tonight, man, why don't you explain what we're doing tonight? We're doing a SWOT analysis because, this isn't the main thing for a lot of people. A lot of people have business minds, business acumens. It's strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. And we're going through Joe Brady's offense, Bobby Babbich's defense. But I'll swing it to the young Brock. Yo, how hard was this to compile for tonight's show? We spent a lot of time on it, didn't we?
Yeah, we spent a lot of time on it. Definitely a lot of thought that went behind it. I can't,
What do you think? We were on it for like, what, 2 hours, you think?
Yeah, 2 hours, yeah. if not
Yeah,
longer.
it's a big thing with us here at this network. You got a lot of options to digest this stuff. We want to make it, worth your time. I do want to take a little part, Pat, if you don't mind. I do want to take a little part. I got angry last week about a comment that was made, I believe, by Dave Meyer from help me. What network was it? What network? Built in Buffalo, calling people saying it doesn't matter. People are being bagging groceries next week. Pat, I think you know why I got upset, because that was me. I was a UDFA on the Chargers. And I didn't get to have the big conversation that, hey, you didn't make it. I just got a Frontier flight on the way home. And I think I did all right for myself. And a lot of these guys are going to find homes at a lot of different teams. Now, I'll give him the grace and give him grace that he was talking about Kurt Warner maybe bagging groceries. But I'm not sure that he's that cunning and witty. So I took personal umbrage against that. I didn't get to address it because I had some things I had to take care of next week. But I just let's keep humanity going here, because those are players that are fighting their tails off to put food on the table. There's a lot more thousandaires on that roster than there are millionaires. So the loudest boos come from the cheapest seats. So am I fair on that? Am I fair on that, Pat? Or am I going?
No, you're spot on with that. No, you're right.
So, Pat, you want to start with offense or defense? Once again, this is the SWOT analysis episode. And like everything, we got some sponsors to thank here, and we'll take a break just to acknowledge them. For the best Italian food in Western New York, Elliott Apollo's, call 716-825-3675. The Lardon Construction Group.
Fubo TV, the official streaming service of Do Champions. FanDuel, the official sportsbook of Do Champions.
For all your summertime needs, beauty pools, as well as kayak pools.
CX Chronicles, your total customer solutions focused manager. W.GG, the official energy drink of Do Champions.
Hey, Sons of Erie, our artwork looks better on your walls. Hamburg Brewing, please visit our tap room on Boston State Road, Hamburg, New York. And finally,
Fat Boy Surf Club for all your surfing needs.
So once again, you're listening to the Third and Manageable Podcast, and we are doing a little bit of a SWOT analysis, and we're going to start, man, with the Joe Brady offense. It's hard to believe that we've come from debating if Ken Dorsey's the guy, and even before that, jet sweep season with Brian Daboll, who seems to be on the hot seat. I do not agree with it. I think he's a brilliant coach. I think he's dealing with a lot. You could tell there's a dynamic difference with the way kind of he treats Jackson Dart versus he did with the predecessor out of Duke, Daniel. Help me out here. Old quarterback Daniel Jones. So I don't think he's on the hot seat, but there was a guy who replaced them in Ken Dorsey, one of the all-time best college quarterbacks ever from that University of Miami 2001 team. But we now do have Joe Brady, who comes straight out of LSU. So we'll start here, Pat. We're looking at the strengths of this offense. Once again, this is a SWOT analysis. We're doing through the strengths of the offense, the weaknesses of the offense, the opportunities of the offense, and the threats that start them. So in starting with the offense, man, Pat, what do you got here, man?
Yeah, Josh Allen, MVP caliber quarterback who covers a lot of upside. Josh Allen is the reigning AP NFL MVP, obviously, and that alone raises the unit's floor and ceiling every week.
I can tell you that you probably read that off the screen, right? But this is like what we're talking about right here. Is Josh Allen is the reigning AP NFL MVP. He raises the floor and the ceiling. It's almost like we're going to die by the sword or live by the sword, which I think we're going to come up and discuss that as possibly a weakness, man. But he's got a lot to offer, Pat, a ton to offer, or else he wouldn't have been the MVP. What is the best quality of which you think Josh Allen truly possesses that a lot of 31 other teams wishes they had?
It would probably have to be Josh Allen's ability to make plays off script. How many times we've seen Josh Allen roll out of the pocket, especially when he's rolling out right and make a play. We saw him do it against Detroit last year with that Coleman dart that went for about 30 yards. We saw it 2 years ago against New England, and even in the perfect playoff game I believe it was 2022 where he's just trying to throw the ball away, ends up and Dawson knocks his hands. Just his ability to make plays off script.
I was talking to Ruben Brown. Like I said, nothing but illustrious guests. We're talking to Ruben Brown. We played with Jim, and he played all of them. He admonished quarterbacks like Josh who make you block until the whistle, because you never know when the play is over with.
Right?
Doesn't that resonate with Josh? You truly never know when the play is over with because of his ability to extend plays. I think a big thing with this offense is guys like Shakir, guys like Kincaid, which have made teams like the Patriots with Edelman and Gronk, teams like the Chiefs, with Pacheco, with Kelsey, where they know when to break off the route.
Yeah.
If they're not the first read, they know how to play playground ball. So that was definitely one that we say Josh Allen is the reigning AP NFL MVP and stuff like that. The next one is offensive line continuity. You're bringing back your left tackle. You already know. Who's that?
Dion Dawkins, number 7.
You're bringing back David Edwards, Connor McGovern, Osiris Torrance, Spencer Brown. And I'm going to put you back on camera, man. We're bringing back the best 6th offensive lineman in the game. The Dome.
Number 70, Alec Anderson.
Alec
brings the nasty every week.
Man, one of the unspoken brilliance of this offense is one Aaron Kromer. In talking to Eric Wood in a previous show, he discussed about how he could have very well been an offensive line coach that turned head coach. It just didn't work out with him a couple times. And I truly believe it's of my volition. This is his last go around. And he's so comfortable with the unit, with the schematic synergy he has with Joe Brady, and with the core group he's doing it with. So it cannot be understated enough, or understated the effect of Aaron Kromer and how much people love playing with him. I mean, we talk to Ryan Vandy all the time. We talk to Alec. We talk to Spencer. We know people. We talk to these people, and they just love playing for Kromer. Eric Wood loves talking to Kromer. So that's the second bullet point we have is offensive line continuity. I mean, this is like one of the best position groups they had all last year, man.
It is. And I mean, they only allowed 14 sacks last year, which was the league best. They kept their quarterback upright.
Yeah. And you have a guy like Dion Dawkins, who I've been harshly critical of.
Yes.
How many times did I call him a bag of milk? Too many.
More than I can count. Yeah.
He lost the 18 pounds. He plays within the training staff's, strict weight of which they set for him, and it's made all the difference. You see him on Hard Knocks. He doesn't seem like the darling of Hard Knocks, Pat. He seems kind of like the older brother, the guy that of the Eric Woods of the past, the Kent Halls of the past, the Ruben Browns of the past. Yeah. What's your take on how they portray Dion on that? And I'm going to spin off that as soon as you tell me what you see there with just Dion.
Yeah, especially with the first episode of Dion, they really showed, him off the field, which is something that we try to do on the network. Is we try to show the other side of, because everybody sees, like Alec Anderson and every football player as a football player. We try to put the spotlight on the actual person. So like the Alec Anderson, and I thought that's what Hard Knocks did pretty well in the first episode with Dion Dawkins. They showed him, taking his kids, drifting. And I thought that was really cool to see.
Yeah, that's right down the street.
Was it actually?
It's like literally a mile from me. Yeah.
Oh, man. But yeah, just showing.
I'm all with it.
Now I'm jealous. Damn it. Come on with it. Yeah, but showing that side of everything, showing Dion Dawkins, talking even to guys like Austin Booker on the Bears in the scrimmage, I believe it was in episode 2, where he goes, "Hey, we're all employees of the NFL. If you have any tips, if you have any questions, come to me." Just being like that mentor, like you said, like the Eric Woods of the past, the Ruben Browns of the past. So
yeah, and it was a big one I saw too on RVD, Ryan Vandermark. When he was kind of yelling at Joe Andreessen, when the ball carrier was going out of bounds, he's like, "Come on, man, same team. Like you don't got to push him." RVD's been there for a couple of years. Okay, we got him from Indianapolis. He's He's what turned us on to Fat Boy Surf Club, honestly. But like honestly, for him to feel comfortable in that culture to pipe up in the heat of battle to be like, yo, that was a senseless mistake. That was a senseless mistake pushing somebody out of bounds. I just love that offensive line culture. Now moving on to our third strengths is what, Pat? It starts with a P.
Yes, pass catchers, multiple modular pass catchers. Modular means compressed.
Yeah, tell what we mean by modular.
Yeah, compressed of or built from parts which can be connected, combined, replaced, or upgraded to create a larger system of product. That's the key word there, modular. The Bills wide receiver room is deeper rather than top heavy. Khalil Shakir, wide receiver 1, usage when healthy.
I mean,
let's start with that. Let's start with Khalil Shakir.
Start, man. Start.
Yeah, he's a guy who, last year he dealt with a high ankle sprain and he came back relatively quick. And it seems like it's kind of the same thing this time around. Obviously he suffered that high ankle sprain in the red and blue scrimmage. But now he was practicing last week. I think he plays week 1. I know it was in jeopardy. It doesn't seem like it's in jeopardy anymore. I think he plays. That guy heals like freaking Wolverine.
Yeah. Do you believe that?
I do. 1,000%. I mean,
what's he make us defend? What's he make other teams defend, Khalil?
You said what?
Khalil Shakir makes other teams defend what?
The whole every blade of grass.
Every blade of grass, man. He's really, really fantastic about what made these great Patriot teams, man.
He does, yes.
It was like he's like the Amendola. Yeah, he's
like that Edelman too, right?
Yeah, it wasn't so much Gronk. It was Edelman being like the safety net.
Exactly. And that's what I'll let you go to this first.
Tommy, that's great. Good to see you. Good to be seen, buddy. Absolutely. But to defend every blade of grass and to be accountable, that you can be an outlet, because when you have a quarterback that's going to extend plays, and if you're making the offensive line block extended periods and they do it with such dominance, you need to own a plot of reliable grass of which Josh can flick his wrist and deliver that ball. Don't make Josh just because you can throw the ball doesn't mean you should throw it.
Right.
And that's a huge developmental piece for Josh. Just because you can make every throw doesn't mean you should
throw it.
Exactly.
Now, Khalil Shakir, speaking of, Khalil Shakir and being like that Julian Edelman role, or being that safety net, we saw it last year against Houston back in week 3. When Josh Allen did not have Khalil Shakir, he had one of his worst passing games of his career. He went 9 for 30. So obviously, I agree with you that Khalil Shakir is that safety net for Josh Allen right now. I mean, he is the longest tenured Bill in that wide receiver room currently. So, it means something. Unless they bring back Gabe Davis. It's Shakir right now.
Well, you got other people in that room. What are you thinking for Keon Coleman?
Yeah, Keon Coleman, we need that year 2 jump from him, with the size of the ball skills and his red zone profile. I mean, he's a big body. And then, obviously, you have Curtis Samuel, which we need from, with his strengths are the motion screen RPO utility, and we need to see more from him. Obviously, down the stretch in the playoffs last year,
we got a
touchdown in the wild card game, divisional round, and in the AFC Championship round. He had a touchdown in all 3, which is more than what Stephon Diggs did for us in his tenure with Buffalo in the playoffs. We need more from Curtis. We have to see more from him. I mean, he knows, he's obviously familiar with Joe Brady and everything like that, but you got to stay on the field. I know a player's best ability is
availability. Well said, Pat. Curtis Samuel, I mean, we need more. And Josh Palmer, is he going to show up, bud?
Yeah, I mean, with his, his strengths again are intermediate / over routes and size. He's got to show up, and that's another guy. He was dealing with some injuries to start at camp. The soft tissue injuries, the hamstring. He had that wrapped up. He was still practicing. He looked good, in his limited role, his limited reps that he did have in the preseason. But that's another guy. Player's best ability. Exactly.
Dude, I have this overwhelming fucking anxiety that it's just we're gonna be playing with parts next man up, which is a great adage if you're playing tough guy football. When you're playing nuanced football of tethered synergy, where like in Hard Knocks when they did the extra reps with Palmer and they're doing the extra stuff, that's great. But like a lot of teams we're gonna be playing against have been doing this for fucking years.
Yeah.
So I know I said it's a strength, but that does concern me. Talk to me about Elijah Moore, man.
Yeah, Elijah Moore, we have him in that kind of, that slot/option routes. And, obviously we added Josh Palmer in July. And, Elijah Moore is on a 1-year deal. But what we need to see from Elijah Moore is what we saw from his days in college. A guy with 4.2 speed, a guy that, can use his speed to get open. Because obviously we have not been able to see Elijah Moore put all his, skill out on the field, because he did play with guys like Zach Wilson when he was first drafted to the Jets, followed by, I believe he played with Mike White, he played with Jameis Winston. But now every time we hear Elijah Moore's name, and if it's in a scrimmage or if it's in a practice, it's Elijah Moore looks really good with Josh Allen. Now we have to see this on the field with Josh Allen in game speed. And you can speak about this better than anybody, student. Game speed is different from practice speed.
Game speed is different than practice squad speed. It's different than like giving a look. It's different than fucking so many fucking things. And it's just like, I'm getting myself depressed, and I didn't want to do this. Sorry, I'm texting AWOL right now, and he's not happy. He's not happy about Texas right now. He's not happy about Texas.
That was that was kind of a shit of a game.
Yeah, they added Palmer in July, and Moore's on a 1-year kind of prove it deal. But another thing I truly believe. We got bless you, man. Go Bills. Hi, Patrick. Hey, here we go. What's going on? 716 Sport. Blizzard. Yo, by the way, it's like 62 degrees on the lake here. Balancing back here to more strengths here is tight end flexibility, and I'll take this one. In 12 personnel, Dalton Kincaid and Dawson Knox give Joe Brady kind of this shape-shifting adage. I love 12 personnel. Personnel. And Kincaid is the movable chess piece. He can line up in trips. He can actually line up, at the apex in trips. He can line up in the slot. It doesn't matter. He is a movable chess piece. And Knox is that inline insert who can block. He really can when he's healthy. Oh boy. Yeah. Why don't you intro him here? Matt, you're gonna have to create a 3-person inlay, but we're Eric gracing greatness right now. We do have Matt Dagger. I'm gonna balance off until I'm gonna construct a 3-piece here for Matt.
What is going on, everybody? So, in the meantime, I figured I'd hop on. I don't know if you guys had talked about the giveaway.
No, we have not.
Go ahead and explain what it is.
Yes, basically us. We partnered up with Glenn Goodberry to give away this awesome jersey that you see Matt is currently showing on the screen. It's a 90s variant custom jersey, 1 out of 1 Josh Allen jersey, and that thing is just beautiful. And we will be giving this away if we hit 3,000 followers on our Twitter page at Do Champions. Like I said, if we reach 3,000 followers by September 7th, which is week 1, when we play the Baltimore Ravens. And to enter the giveaway, you have to follow us on Do Champions. Follow Glenn Goodberry at GLENN_Goodberry, GOODBERRY, and like and repost that post, and that will enter you if we reach the 3,000 followers.
Yeah, and it's a great contest we have running. Glenn, sourced that himself, and he did a great job on that jersey. It's really cool looking jersey. Let me tell you, just seeing it on screen does not do it justice. Definitely give Do Champions a follow on Twitter and get yourself entered to win, because it's literally just following us. Nothing else. Don't even need to share it. Don't need to like it. Nothing like that. Just give us a follow, and you have a chance to be entered to win that jersey. So, as we go on, I don't know where you guys were in the show. I didn't realize I would be hopping in, and so let's kind of continue forward here.
Moving forward, we are talking about the Bills' strengths right now on offense. We're talking about, Student just got into the tight end, how we can utilize our tight ends with Dalton Kincaid and everything like that. But I do want to talk to you about Elijah Moore, because you have been pounding the table for Elijah Moore for quite some time. What kind of role do you see him having on this offense, and what makes him a key contributor?
I see him very much in like the shallow to intermediate, whereas I see Palmer in that intermediate to like deeper area, whereas I see more in that like 5 to 15, where I see Palmer in that like 15 to 25 and maybe a little bit deeper area. I really think that Josh can take advantage of those strengths for both those guys, and Elijah Moore specifically. I think that he does a great job at getting open very, very quickly. And we didn't get to see him at all with Josh during training camp. So unfortunately, we're going to have to trust what the coaches saw as Bills fans and kind of move forward from there.
Yeah, and I mean, every time you heard Elijah Moore's name in training camp and a scrimmage against the Bears, it's always, oh wow, how good Elijah Moore looks. That's because he's with Josh Allen, and we all know that we talked about it earlier. Josh Allen elevates all his receivers. All of his receivers have had their career years, obviously outside of Emmanuel Sanders, everything like that. But Stephon Diggs, Cole Beasley, John Brown are kind of the big names to mention in that. And I think we're in for another year like that with Elijah Moore. And, I know everybody says, oh, yeah, but he didn't do good, in the preseason against second and third stringers. He doesn't have Josh Allen. And again, Josh Allen elevates his receivers. So I can't wait to see Josh Allen and Elijah Moore. I can't wait to see that connection. I think it could be special.
Yeah, I really do agree with you on that point. I think that Josh getting into his players' hands, especially Josh Palmer and Elijah Moore, Keon Coleman is going to be very, very special this year. Because I think he has some elements that he has not had. Last year he got Keon Coleman, that guy who can truly win at 50-50 balls. And unfortunately he got hurt in that Miami game, kind of spiraled his season down a little bit. Curtis Samuel, and I think Curtis Samuel and Elijah Moore are going to be fighting for that active roster spot on game day, depending on who's better in practice, who's actually going to be able to be available. I think that he has elements to this team now and a lot of weapons that, we haven't seen since having, Cole Beasley or John Brown.
I agree with that. I agree with everything you said. And man, I can't wait. Now, I do want to transition here a little bit further to some of our other strengths, like run game staying on schedule. The club extended James Cook in mid-August, signaling that they will keep the under center gap alignments that paired well with play action late last year, with guys like Ray Davis's profile, kind of that hard runner guy who's going to, break a tackle here and there, which would be the hammer/closer.
Yeah, I mean, I really think they have the best third down running back in the league on their, in their backfield, and Ty Johnson. I think that's going to continue moving forward. I think that James Cook is going to continue to grow within his role within this team. I'd like to see him get maybe a few more tries out of the backfield as far as pass catching. I think that is one of his games that one of his things to his game that has improved. Year in and year out, because we were, when he dropped that ball against Philadelphia, going in the end zone, we were all like, oh, James Cook can't catch the ball. Now, like he had five misses last year. So,
okay, fine. We'll talk about weaknesses. How's that? And continue with the SWOT analysis. We just went through some strengths. We now go through some weaknesses. Oh, here we go. Man, the weaknesses. I'm gonna start it off right. Actually, Pat, you start off right now. What are some of our weaknesses here, man? That you see pending right now?
Yeah, one of our weaknesses are no proven healthy alpha wide receiver right now. Obviously, we did mention earlier that Khalil Shakir is dealing with that high ankle sprain, but we think that he will.
It was a high ankle. It was a high ankle sprain on August 1st. Yeah, Pat, Matt, you've had some ankle injuries.
Mm-hmm.
They take a while to sort themselves out, man.
They do, absolutely. Especially
week to week is quickly week to month.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right. By the way, you look very handsome.
Thanks. I'm 30 hours in and I still have 30 left to go. So I'm super excited to be here.
Anyway, this is Off the Rack. It's sponsored by Fat Boy Surf Club. off the rack is gonna be just Matt looking handsome, and that's sponsored by Fat Boy Surf Club. Anyway,
Appreciate you.
Some of our weaknesses here, as Pat touched on, no alpha wide receiver in the room. No alpha wide receiver in the room. I'll say it again, Matt, and you better fight me on this. There's no alpha wide receiver in the room.
I think that's got to be moved to a strength, honestly, because you don't have
You got the floor, big dog.
You don't have somebody like and I love Stephon Diggs when he was here, when he had his mouth shut, right? It's not doing anything like that, but not demanding the ball, not doing. He's getting his catches, but now you have this everybody eats mentality where literally everybody is getting the ball. Everybody is a part of the offense. There's no dark cloud over anything anymore. There's no like you don't have that type A personality in there that is demanding things, right? Everybody's working together for the greater goal or greater good in the end. And being able to achieve the final prize, that winning that last game of the year in the Super Bowl.
Well, I mean, you're all banners and awesomeness, but I'm gonna switch it here. Another weakness: tight end utilization volatility. I mean, Kincaid's 2020 production and snap share dipped, and that's even amid injury and role fluctuation. I mean, analysis all offseason is centered on finding steadier and higher leverage uses for him. You know, let's make Skip Bayless, let's make Skip Bayless, the reason he freaked out, let's make him freak out more. I mean, he had a Micah Parsons incident. I love that faux anger, by the way. You ready for Skip Bayless? Here it is.
I can't stand.
Fuck up, dude.
I can't stand that. The performity
makes more money than all of us combined in this. So.
Absolutely. But the performity of it is just.
Oh, actually, you're doing
asinine.
By the way, plug mattress, plug the mattresses. By the way.
Yeah. So we actually have our Labor Day sale going on tomorrow.
I'm going blue cheese aficionado. He's going Josh Allen. Stan, you're a sleep expert.
I am.
I feel like Third and Management's back.
It definitely feels back. I feel like I'm falling asleep in my chair, but that's okay.
Let me spice it up there, Tonto. Yo, I feel like every single weakness has been highlighted with we need more. Kincaid.
So, and I get that with Kincaid. But we heard Josh say it on Bustin' with the Boys. It's more on him
Reggie
than it was
Gilliam.
on Dalton.
No, I'm not talking about singular events. That's some corny ass fucking shit, dude. Singular events. I'm talking about the totality of the whole. Reggie Gilliam, he is. It's almost like a foregone conclusion. He's going to have a roster spot. Mm-hmm. When we get big, we go big with AA.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, I love Q. I love Q. I love Q. Q's not here anymore, right? He inflicted more of a presence than Gilliam. If you're going to throw him with a running back room, that's fine. That's a very crowded room with Ty Johnson, Ray Davis, and James Cook. So, if you really want to show some utility, throw it in a room where we have this volatility of utilization between Knox and Kincaid. Where are you on that, Tonto?
Yeah,
that's what I thought.
I think that they do need to use Reggie Gilliam a little bit more. Maybe not so much, but find a different spot to use the roster spot because Reggie Gilliam is good out of the backfield. He's good on special teams. He's good on blocking, but the utility of him is not enough for that roster spot. And that's, unfortunately those decisions have to be made. And, we've seen, not to be negative, but we've literally seen him on this team for 5 years and they haven't been able to get over the hump. So maybe find a different spot to use the fullback roster room and maybe drop Dawson Knox back there or Jackson Hawes back there. Or
if we're going to talk pro set, because I love a good pro set. Ray Davis is great in the pro set. our weaknesses, our final weakness on this thing is going to be it's kind of like the right edge pass pro consistency, and then the right edge being Spencer Brown or whoever we else have in the pro set. Spencer Brown performance has swung at times. He's had some inconsistent penalties. He opened up camp dinged up, had a minor back injury. If he and McGovern, who also has a hamstring, aren't right, interior pressure and edge squeezes can force hurried hero ball snaps from Allen. And I know Pat and I did this before, but just because you can throw it, Matty,
doesn't mean you should.
Right. And that's kind of a big thing too. And the other weakness I thought we had, and this is red zone finishing. Pat, what does red zone finishing depend on?
It depends on new answers. Obviously, now
say it again.
Cooper. It depends on new answers.
New answers, Matt. New answers to finish in the red zone.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Pat.
No, we don't have a Cooper or a Diggs. ISO meaning a true one-on-one winner. We will need new scheme.
Good point.
Answers.
Yeah, I mean, and they're gonna have to find schemed answers. We're gonna have to play with tight end picks, maybe some bunch, maybe some motion to stack. I'm not talking about bringing back jet sweep season with Dable, but Coleman has to win the slants and the fades, or we're cooked.
If those don't hit, expect a few more field goals instead of touchdowns.
Pat said it so positively, but can you say it a little bit more negatively?
Yeah, obviously,
say, get sad, get sad, get sad. Pretend like there's no more blue Hawaiians at the bar you're at. Get a little sadder. Say it.
I wouldn't be there. Well, if those expect more field goals than touchdowns.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're going to pivot here now to the opportunities, because we do have to go through the defense too. Here's the opportunities of which we see, and I'm going to start up. Designs the wide receiver by job, not hierarchy. That is a little portmanteau of everyone eats. Define the wide receiver room by everybody can do it when your number's called upon, not the hierarchy of the 1, the X, the 2, the Y, or the crown of the bunch formation. Matt, that's big for me. And Shakir, he's a great option choice. You can get quick gimmies from him, versus soft coverage. But Pat said it before, Matt. Shakir commands you to defend what, Pat?
Every blade of grass.
Yeah, he really does, and I think that they have a lot of guys on the team right now that are going to make you defend a lot of that grass. Between Elijah Moore, Curtis Samuel, whoever wins that game day or whatever. Keon Coleman, he's going to make you cover every blade of grass and every ounce of air above him. And then Khalil Shakir, the same thing, and we don't know what we have in Tyrell Shavers truly. Where he looks like he can be, kind of combination. Combination of Keon Coleman with a little bit more speed.
Well, let's start with Coleman here, and Pat is an opportunity here. Keon Coleman, what do you see out of Keon Coleman here as an opportunity here?
We can use him, on the boundary, obviously ISO, which is one.
And once again, isolation plays, yeah.
Yes, sluggo, red zone box outs like we saw against Seattle and a few times against Miami. He posted last year 29 receptions, 556 yards, and 4 touchdowns as a rookie, with a splashy 125-yard game against Tennessee, which was back in week 6. So there's evidence of the spike play.
Yeah, you're completely right.
But can I say something real quick about that, though? Is I want to push back a little bit on that. In that Tennessee game, he had 125 yards, but do you know where 67 of them came from? One shot play. And that came off of a slant and missed tackles. So at some point, yes, he's got to take advantage of those plays, like we were talking, like Student was talking about earlier. He's got to take advantage of those and do more of those, because that's going to allow him to have more of those 125-yard games.
Okay. Slow down, Panama Red. Talk to me about Palmer then.
So I was saying when you
see that hiccup in his giddy up, Pat?
When you came out of it,
Palmer. You loved Palmer.
Who, me?
Do you still love him?
I love Moore. I love Elijah Moore.
Elijah Moore.
Yeah.
I love Elijah
No,
Moore.
I don't
And I
even know.
still do.
Pat, I don't even know if you love Palmer, but I think we know how he feels about Palmer now.
Who, me?
Yeah.
Me? No, I'm actually excited for Palmer. I think that he's going to hit those 12 to 25 yard intermediate, and Elijah Moore is going to take advantage of those 5 to 12 yard the intermediate. The shorter.
Palmer's going to be good for like those back end play action. The glances versus quarters.
Yep.
But let's bulk 2 people in for possibly opportunities. Samuel and Moore. I'd love to see those kind of quicker guys, in motion to identify. The motion identifies man versus zone. I think that's extremely valuable because you got to play it honest.
Mm-hmm.
With guys with speed, you got to play it honest. You can't be dragging tail pre snap and be like, oh yeah, I'll get on my giddy up once once we get the ball in Josh's hands. And also two is that Alec Anderson in the back? I heard a dog. No, but seriously, those pre-snap motions, to identify, man versus zone, that's jet sweep season. That's orbit screens. That's mesh. That's sit to beat pressure.
Yeah.
I do love that.
Now, if we were to sign a Gabe Davis, where does he fit?
Practice squad.
I think Matt, you take this.
Yeah. So
if we were going to, we would have.
Yeah, that, but also too, if they were,
you don't think he's shopping around anything bigger than a vet min, right? He's already getting still paid by the Jags.
$11 million from the Jags is guaranteed for him, so he could take a vet min.
He's not shopping anything bigger than a vet min, and there's no greater situation. So where do you think the onus is? The player, or if we want him?
I think it's a little bit of both. I think it's a little bit of both. I really do. I think that I honestly, and this is just only personal opinion. I think that the Bills want him on the practice squad, and he still wants a full job. I think that even if it's on the back end of a team like the Steelers, where he gets the opportunity. Because he truly doesn't have an opportunity here with the Bills other than to rehab his injury and sit on the practice squad and potentially see a couple games later in the year.
That's
kind of how I feel about it.
Who the fuck's offered him better?
Nobody's offered him anything.
Don't you think the want of the seesaw trends towards the Bills just seeing let's keep you hot. Maybe we'll steam the crab versus boil the crab.
And like I said, I think that's
especially playing Baltimore the first week, that was a pretty good analogy.
I definitely think it's a good idea. Like if I was Gabe, I'm coming to a place where I feel comfortable with the coaching staff. I feel comfortable with the training room. I feel comfortable with the doctors. I feel comfortable with all that stuff. And rehab my meniscus and prove that I can still play the way I did, because we all know how knee injuries work, and they take a little bit more time because the mentality, anything like that, and kind of allow yourself to kind of heal in a place you feel comfortable.
So if all those things are predicated that it is here, don't you think the seesaw kind of fucking trends this way, that like, we'll keep you on ice?
And that's kind of why I was thinking it was both ways. Like, I think it's a little bit of both. I think he's might be weighing options. I think the Bills still have, because they just filled that 16th roster spot or 16th practice squad spot because they are able to keep an additional with Travis Clayton being the international player.
International player designation. Once again, Tommy Giambra. His name is Travis Clayton. He is a friend. Please get his name right. Anyway, getting back to it. I think we've exhausted this, man. I feel like we're in a good place, but we could be better depending on ultimate results. We're going to take a break real quick for sponsor designation. You're listening to the Third Mandible podcast with the original Core 3. For the best Italian food in Western New York, Elliot Apollo's, call 716-825-3675. The Lardon Construction Group.
Fubo TV, the official streaming service of Do Champions. FanDuel, the official sportsbook of Do Champions.
For all your summertime needs, beauty pools, as well as kayak pools.
CX Chronicles, your total customer solutions focused manager. W.GG, the official energy drink of Do Champions.
Hey, Sons of Erie, our artwork looks better on your walls. Hamburg Brewing, please visit our tap room on Boston State Road, Hamburg, New York. And finally,
Fat Boy Surf Club for all your surfing needs.
And welcome back to the Third and Manageable Podcast. This is the SWOT analysis episode, a little business enterprise for a business in making Super Bowl the enterprise. And we're going to kick it off right now with the strengths of Joe Brady's nemesis in training camp, a Bobby Babbage defense. Now, can we all make it clear, and especially to my partner, my scumbag partner, fucking Matt Digert? Matt, we'll let Pat be the judge and the jury. Whose defense is this? Is it Bobby Babbage's or Sean McDermott's? And I'll mute you if you get this question wrong.
It is Bobby Babbage's at this point.
Thank you.
I think last year it was Sean.
No, the crowd's still applauding me. The crowd is still applauding me. They've stopped.
Again, I mean, in the end, they're still
doing it. Go ahead, dude.
In the end, like in all realistics, it's Jim Johnston's defense.
Jim Johnson.
You know, and Sean McDermott brought it here, and Bobby Babbage Sr. has ran it. Sean McDermott's ran it. Bobby Babbage Jr. is now in charge of it. So, and each person has to put a little bit of their own spin on everything. And, it's still, when it comes down to it, the defense is truly like in of itself. It's a too high defense where they can disguise coverages and things like that.
Yeah. Predicated with a little nickel personnel, but let's run the gamut right now of the defense of the strengths. We're going to start right here. The strength. Oh, is that the dog again? I heard a dog again. Is that the AA? Is that who?
Is that AA's music?
Is that Alec Anderson?
Oh, God.
Anyway, the strengths. The first one I put up there was turnover creation identity. I mean, in his inaugural season as defensive coordinator, Babbitt's defense forced 32 turnovers. It's nothing to, sniff your paws at for keeping with AA.
No, it's not, but
it's the third most of the NFL. Let me finish.
Sorry.
That takeaway focus DNA of who we are remains a core philosophy entering in 2025. That is why I think that's a strength. Matt, to you agree or disagree?
I actually think that needs to go more under the threats, to be honest with you.
Threats of continuity or threats of where you think we're trending?
Threats of continuity, because that's something that cannot be relied on as turnovers. Because the Buffalo Bills every single year under Sean McDermott are very, very good at turnovers.
I thought we just talked about this.
You cannot rely on them.
What does Sean have to do with this?
I wasn't saying about it. I'm saying since Sean McDermott has been here, right, as the head coach,
hey, Macarena,
that defense has been very good. The defense has been very good at creating turnovers, but it's not something you can rely on, because as much as you're trying to make it or cause a turnover, it might not happen. Peanut punch doesn't work all the time. You're sitting there punching air sometimes.
It did against Frank Gore.
Absolutely, it does. And that's the thing. They're very, very good at that, and they put a very huge focus on it. But I think the threat is the continuity to doing that, whereas they just need to get better at getting off the field 1, 2, 3 and out.
Understood.
I agree.
Go ahead, Patty.
Yeah, no, we can knock it off the field on third down, third and long. It felt like it was a 3rd and 18. It's gonna be a first down somehow. It was.
Well, we have tried to make some improvements here, Pat, and I go to you. So to the defense, some strengths on the defense, front-loaded improvements to defensive talent. Talk to me about it, big dog.
Yeah, the Bills aggressively rebuilt their defense, with the offseason acquisitions of, obviously Joey Bosa, Larry Ogunjobi, Michael Hoyt, which those two are going to be out for the first 6 weeks, as we already know. But then they also bring in guys like Tre'Davious White, and they drafted Maxwell Harrison to reinforce their secondary, because as we saw in the AFC Championship game last year, our secondary, as soon as Christian Benford went out of that game, was toast. We were not
Deion Walker. Deion Walker.
Oh yeah.
You
Guys,
okay, dude?
Forget about Deion Walker, TJ Sanders, Landon
Just got
Jackson.
COVID.
All those stuff. Especially Deion Walker. That guy's a stud.
He's gonna that kid is gonna be something special. I'm telling you right now, and I told you
Why?
because he's like a friggin' dancing bear, and I said it when Whittle Almighty and I were talking about it.
First of all, show him respect. The almighty Whittle.
And when we were talking about it early on in February, and even when we talked about it last year, him as a defensive prospect before he got hurt, he just you get him like a student like you and I talk about all the time with certain players. You get them in an NFL regiment, you get them in an NFL training room, you get them in a good culture, you get them and
Vanessa.
You rebuild that player.
Bernard.
They're literally his trajectory is like this. Yeah. Yep.
Can I say
I'll keep going. Spencer Brown.
If we can do that with a Deion Walker, couldn't we do that with a Desmond Watson?
You take that one, man.
That's a tough one. I mean, honestly,
I don't. You're taking that one because I don't know the answer.
Because it comes down to the players want to be in better shape. Because that kid could have came in, and yes, he might not be. He might not be. Hold on.
There's something going on there. There's something going on there.
I'm just saying, like he needs a want and need to realize that, hey, these are my NFL dreams. I need to put my health and my weight and everything else first. So let me take advantage of the NFL program that I have in front of me. And I'm sure if he would have shown, hey, I've lost 40 pounds in training camp. I've lost 40 pounds in training camp, or I've lost 40 pounds since you drafted me, or anything like that, and got him down, they might have kept him.
You're wrong.
But to play advocate here, though,
how about you to play? How about you play? Shut the fuck up. He lost 40, right?
No, he didn't lose any.
No, he lost 19. I thought.
Oh,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. He did not prove.
Time back in. I thought he lost 40.
No, and that's what I was saying. He lost.
There's a general health liability to not have a Corey Stringer incident. Pat, that might be too old for you, Matt. You remember Corey Stringer?
Yeah.
Why don't you explain to Pat who Corey Stringer was?
So Corey Stringer was the reason why that there is there's no more two-a-days. There's no more stopping the water, or cutting off water. There's no
the week.
Yeah. He's the reason why that is not a thing anymore. Because he died on the practice field.
Because there's a general humanitarian liability of putting someone in such a strenuous physical position who, frankly, is not going to succeed from a result standpoint, and two, is going to impede the general later quality of his own life health.
Kid's 450 pounds and he's 6'6". I mean that's not healthy.
You could be 350. You could podcast at that weight, but even I had a general chirping of my conscience to be like, fat people, what, Matt? Like, make less money, they get promoted less, they're more susceptible to disease, die alone, or suffer an early death. And if he can't grasp it, that the quality of his football career is going to be decremented when you're playing against guys who want it more than you gotta want it more when you're set 15 feet back because you're huffing and puffing to make up those 15 feet of the general starting line. Clip that. Jake, clip that. Jake, clip that.
And he, honestly, he had an opportunity. He had every opportunity to take advantage of that training program, and he was not able to make weight.
Matt, it's not hard to lose weight. You just got to hate yourself.
Well, it's also not hard to lose weight when you're 450 pounds. That shit, it's not naturally supposed to be on you. It's trying to come off. You literally have to continue.
Just not the Burger King bundle. Maybe
Right.
a junior chicken is fine. I say that but there's a general liability. If you can't command something you have total totalitarian control of, which is the composition of your BMI, how are you going to command the composition of a playbook when we can't rely on what you're going to do off the field, not inside the hashes? Anyway, to keep moving on, we're still on a little bit of defensive strengths. This is going to be a long show. I hope you guys fuck with it. Is going to be the veteran leadership and emerging stars. Matt Milano, the all-pro linebacker, continues to be a tone setter. No one can cover more east-west distance than that boy out of Boston College. No one. I'm of that volition. And also, he's a quiet locker room presence. I think it's Brasky that tabulates that he's talked twice on Hard Knocks. I kind of like it. I love Brasky. Shout out Alec Brasky. And anyway, his leadership elevates the entire unit. Number 2, we'll keep it with linebackers. Terrell Bernard. He's entering a new phase after he earned a new contract, and he led the team in tackles and overall production where we didn't see it coming. We didn't go and chase the Edmonds contract, the Roquan Smith resetting of the linebacker pay wheel. We didn't, and we got something great. And he's a rare all-around impact. And that comes from the sack department, the interception, in the force pressures. His dynamicism, that was rewarded with a 4-year extension. And I don't think if anybody, I will hop through the screen and fight anyone who doesn't think he earned that extension. Is anybody in disagreement?
No,
he's done everything he's done everything he's been asked.
Because
and,
you know what? He's everything
more.
you need, Matt.
And nothing you don't.
Great. Keep going on with the strengths. I would say Taron Johnson, a nickel corner that steps into, his first of a 3-year extension. Last season, delivered. You knew when he wasn't on the field. He delivered a clear career high, across tackles, interceptions, forced fumbles, defensive scores, and reliability. Despite allowing, he does have a little bit of a completion percentage, but you're asking probably one of the top cover corners to rock in the box. Matt, sounds like you got something to say. Talk to me, West Side.
No, I was just going to say, I really think improvements on the defense that kind of goes also to the back end of the safety position. I think that name me the last time that, and it's in recent memory. Name me the last time that they've really pushed for a starter to play when he really wasn't healthy in the preseason.
Preseason. You added the caveat. Preseason, I don't know.
It was Terrell Bernard.
You think they pushed him?
They wanted him.
Yeah. You think they pushed him, or you wanted to see where he was at?
No. What I'm saying is, I think that they pushed him to be a starter in there and named him the starter. Like, this is the guy we want, and he's going to go. And I think that that's right where they're doing with Cole Bishop at this point, because I think that they see something in Cole Bishop, and I also think that's one of the reasons why they brought back Jordan Poyer.
Okay, I'm taking this off real quick. Watch this. How do I do this, Matt? You bought this. There it is. I hate our New Jerseys.
Oh
They're pushing those down our throats.
those are nice.
Can we talk about the all-time most pat comment ever? By the way,
go right ahead. Go right ahead.
So we have this like robust chat. I'm with a guy in the know. That's kind of how we get some. By the way, sorry, analytics are for the turds. We have connections. Anyway, I see these jerseys and I'm texting Matt about them. I'm seeing Pat and I'm like, yo, I just saw the jerseys. They suck or whatever. And Matt, what did Pat say? The most Pat Brookness comment ever. Hang on. This is what Pat said. Because no one was listening. What did Pat say?
That's what I'm pulling up right now. Hold on. Where is it? Where is the comment? Hey, I just saw the full mock-up of the Bills' new jerseys. They suck. Hey, I saw the preview teaser, and they're awesome.
Do it in the Pat voice. I just saw the previews of them, and they're awesome. Anyway, catch me on Rent the Runway at 5 on VH1. ultimate Pat Brook.
Which I stand corrected.
I literally, you said just saw the new jerseys in full, prepared to be disappointed. Pat goes, I bet they're nice. Like, come on, bro.
Because
from what I saw from the video, they are cool and awesome.
You see the little
Pat,
verbatim.
Do you understand the inherent ridiculousness of that statement? Hey, student has just saw the full jerseys, and you're like, well, I saw the preview, and they're great. My order's already in.
See, you bought one. See, you like it.
I bought one?
Did you? I thought that's what you just said.
No, I didn't.
Oh, Jesus.
No, I bought your anger.
Again, follow New Champions for this great jersey, the best one.
No, can you show me that thing, by the way?
Yeah, it's right here.
How do I get you on the screen?
There you go. That is the full. And then you got the front with the Glenn Goodberry patch on there. Shout out Glenn Goodberry for doing this jersey for us. This is amazing. The 90s retro throwback with Josh Allen. One of a kind. Amazing. Simply amazing.
Can he do more?
Amazing. Yeah. We'll talk about the next project off air because I don't want to spoil the surprise.
Oh, is that a good one? Yeah. Shout out Glenn Goodberry, the Goodberry Variant. Shout out Bills on the Brain. They're great. I love that. I got to be honest with you. I got it here, Pat. You're out. I love treating them like a little brother. Yo, I love the synergy we're developing with other networks, man.
Yeah.
I love the synergy with Trainwreck. I love the synergy with Cover One. I love the synergy with the Goodberry Enterprise, man. It's just, I love creatorship that is for the love of the game.
Yeah.
For the love of the game.
It's great. It's great too. And he dropped it off to me at work at Mattress Firm, and you know, he was so just like giddy about it, and it's awesome to see.
There's only one thing to do now, baby. So to wrap up these strengths of that Joe Brady nemesis, the Bobby Babich camp, and the Super Bowl defense, we're going to talk about line health management. And that's recognizing Joey Bosa's past injury history. You got it, Kitty.
Mm-hmm.
The coaching staff is carefully managing his workouts and training camps. We also have, Mike Hoyt. We interviewed Mike Hoyt. He's a Molson Canadian guy. He's a Canadian guy. He's a Drake versus Kendrick guy. My cousin just saw him. He remembered the pod. Yo, talk to us about Mike Hoyt, Mr. Matty Daggert.
Yeah, I mean, you saw him. I mean, we all saw him in preseason. Like the guy just, it was all over the field. He just nonstop motor like it. And we used to think that like back 10, 15 years ago when we used to say like high motor guy, and you're talking about, oh yeah, that's just a high motor guy from the Bills. That's all that they ever bring it. This guy literally just does not stop.
Yo, straight up, I want your opinion. Von Miller was a high motor guy. He's got a better motor. Hoyt's got a better motor.
I think so. Yeah,
he's got.
I think Von Miller is just.
I think Hoyt has more to prove.
100%. And I think Von Miller was. I think Von Miller was a little faster, and I think Von Miller was a little bit more polished. But and absolutely, I'm just saying that motor and that want and that drive, I think is
and that UDFA swagger, baby.
Mm-hmm.
Pat, where you at with that?
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. I do believe that Michael Hoyt has a lot more to prove, and he's more hungrier. Because when you look at a guy like Von Miller,
more hungrier,
first ballot, more hungry, you got a guy like Von Miller, who's going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. He's already a Super Bowl MVP. He's already won 2 Super Bowls, and his comment after the AFC Championship game really stuck with me when he said, "It just wasn't our night." Bullshit. Go make it your night.
Great. We're gonna go to weaknesses for this Bobby Badgers defense. The weaknesses starting with secondary depth concerns. I mean, even after making upgrades, the Bills' back end remains a potential soft spot. You guys know it. Injuries to key names like Tre'Davious White and the inexperience of the newer pieces. I mean, we can sit there and call Bishop just get healthy. How about just get proven as well? That aids to the shaky secondary buzz. They are newer pieces. Poe, big play Poe, all pro Poe. Hopefully he helps us out. Patty, I'm going to start with you. Is there any credence to that weakness, secondary depth concerns?
Yeah, obviously, when you look at guys that, are injured, like a Tre'Davious White and Maxwell Harrison, and you look down the depth chart, you got guys like Dorian Strong now with Taron Johnson, Christian Benford. I know Christian Benford has sat out of practice the last few weeks, the last 2 weeks.
Oh, Nova guy.
He just needs rest. I know Thigh Doctor's trying to relate it to the AFC.
Shout out Thigh Doctor.
Concussion. Yes. Now, I don't know if that's the case. If it is a lingering concussion issue, I hope not. Because you guys would know better than me.
I don't think lingering concussion issues are a thing.
Okay, see, that's right.
You're in the protocol, out of the protocol. That is one of the tightest subsets of training room monitoring. Pat, Matt, would you agree? There's no such thing as a lingering fog. They'll never put someone out there that is susceptible to a fencing effect. Tell me about it.
I agree that they wouldn't put anybody out there in a fog or anything like that, but I do disagree that thinking that there is no lingering effects from these concussions. I really do think that every once because everybody's different, right? You see some guys that just get one concussion and then are prone to them the rest of their career. You get
that's stone cold fact.
Right.
Yeah, ask Uncle. You can tell him.
Yeah.
Who would you ask?
Uncle Bud.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. But then you get one guy that gets one and never has another one his entire career. You talk to you sound.
Who?
No, I'm not saying. I'm just saying.
Misnomers.
I'm not saying
any one person who got a concussion who's never been more susceptible. That goes against medical science. Don't spill.
I didn't say not more susceptible.
Correct.
I just said you have somebody where they get one and then they don't get another one their entire career. That's not saying they're not more susceptible or anything like that.
You're talking about an anomaly.
I mean, Josh has had one.
Yeah, knock on wood.
You think he's had one? Come on.
I mean, honestly, Brett. Anytime. I mean, it depends on what you consider an actual concussion. Like,
concussion is one that's going to put you in the blue tent, put you through protocol, and get you out of the game.
That's not what I mean. It just depends on what you consider.
There we go. Okay, I like this.
It depends on what you consider a concussion, because you talk to somebody like Brett Favre, who was told, "Hey, anytime you hear you get the stars, that's a concussion." I mean, okay, sure, I guess.
Matt,
that's a concussion.
Matt, let's not be built in Buffalo. Let's not be fucking under covers. Like, a lot of it's about hiding it.
And I completely understand.
No, let's have a real conversation. How many times have you hit concussions?
A few.
More. I played a lot of the time when I shouldn't have been.
Yeah, I would definitely
say
so.
You have to, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Matt, have you? Let's have a real conversation.
I mean, absolutely, 100%. 100%. There was.
You want to pivot real quick? You want to pivot real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
God forbid, Tua gets one in the first 5 weeks.
That's why I said just from knowing how concussions are.
If he gets one in the first 5 weeks, or
I would
another one.
He's got to be done. He's got to be done.
The quality. Who's in his corner right now as a friend, as an ally, as a hierarchical presence in his life to be like, God, there's where I lose words, you put them in my mouth as yo. Doesn't yo say everything? Like yo.
Well,
yeah. I mean,
I got like chills, man. I mean,
we know of somebody very, very well that is dealing with some stuff.
Ex-Bills alumni that people would not know about.
Yeah. I mean, and it's crazy, like
bad. And we, you know what, Matt, the reason we can't say his name because it's a hush thing. Shit.
Yeah. Like, I mean,
shit.
Like,
I will say.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, Pat.
Tua did say when they asked him, like, why are you going to continue to play? He said, because anything you do in life is risky. You can get into a car and get into a car accident. It's no different than playing football. But
you know, I don't get in car accidents. I don't get in car accidents every Sunday in the fall.
Right. And when he goes down on the field, and I don't mean anything, but he has the fencing
effect.
Fencing effect again, and he gets hit, and he causes his own concussion, and then he has brain damage, and he can't be what he is for his family, for his kids,
for community, for people.
Exactly. Like take the money and go, dude. Like
take the money, take the quality of life of which that.
Well, it's take the money that you've already earned and go retire. Go be with your family. Go, make a good choice in life.
Okay, we'll do this. Matt, you lost your identity when you were done playing football. So did I.
Mm-hmm.
Don't you think that? So did Will. One of our buddies.
Yeah.
That's tough. That's a good conversation, by the way. I do appreciate it. To get us back on course, the weaknesses here. The next one coming up would be inconsistency against elite offenses. We don't want to talk about it. But in the final stretch of the 2024, especially in the AFC title game against Kansas City, the defense allowed an average of 31.4 points in their last 5 outings. Babbage, he absorbed a lot of that criticism. If we don't do it, who do you see a lot of the onus on? Sean or Bobby? Because I think it's a 3-headed monster, man. 4-headed monster, 5-headed monster. I think it's Bean, Josh, McDermott, Babbage, and Joe. By the way, I told Pat today I was at 7-Eleven right on Route 5, right by Hooks. I saw Chris Tabor, fucking big guy. Anyway,
yeah. Oh, hold on. We sold a mattress today to a very large offensive lineman that played from UConn. We'll just leave it at that.
RVD?
No.
Chase Lunt?
We have more people on this roster besides Ryan Vandemark that played offensive line from UConn. Anyway, I'm going to add that as a weakness. Hang on to our offense. And spiraling out, we're going to go to opportunities for the defense.
Well, but before we go to opportunities, I do want to touch on the inconsistencies because, like we talked about a little bit ago, third down defense that needs to improve. They need to get off the field and put the ball back in Josh's hands. 100%. They need to figure it out because it can't be 3rd and 18 and you have a great play. Ed Oliver gets a sack. 8 yards lost and everything like that. And then all of a sudden now, they pick up 3rd and 18 and it's 1st and 10 now. Or
can't agree with you more.
You got to keep your hands off. You got to keep your hands off the, causing those penalties. For 5, even if it's 5-yard holding, you got to stay off of those guys.
Pat, what do you think about?
I definitely agree with Matt. You got to get off the field on 3rd down. How many times have we seen it over the last few years? Drive killers. I mean, going back to that Minnesota game where they converted.
Give Josh another possession.
Yeah, no, seriously, give Josh another possession, and that's what Bobby Babbage was saying in Hard Knocks. Get off the field in 3 plays and put the ball back in the MVP's hands. And if we can do that,
Matt, you're shrugging. Is he wrong?
Just mic drop. It's truly mic drop. That get off the field, put the ball back in your MVP's hands.
Well, I'm going to talk about something great. That does fall under a weakness, especially the way he played. A little bit, a weakness, but maybe an opportunity, right? And that's how we segue. Mike Hoyt, the newly signed defensive tackle, will be unavailable. And we all know this for the first 6 games due to, a PED suspension. That he was disruptive in the interior in the early preseason matchups. Pat, forgive me. I'm going to go right to Matty Dygert. Dog. He might be the next dog. he might be grow from kennel puppy to dog with Alec Anderson. We go to you, Maddie. What do you think, man?
Yeah, I mean him at defensive end, him playing linebacker, him playing defensive tackle, him having the ability to move in and out of all of those positions, and rush the passer and create havoc is only going to be good for this team. They're going to be able to create a lot of pressure based in the system with somebody like him when he gets back on the field.
Patty, what do you think about that? It's exciting that he's going to come in with fresh legs. He's going to come in with a fresh mentality of like, yo, pass me the ball, watch what I do with it. Ball don't lie. Pat, what do you think?
Yeah, looking at what he did in the preseason, if he can carry that over to obviously, when his suspension is done and over, which I think is bogus, the whole NFL suspension.
Just to be clear, get to the point, dickhead.
Yeah, but if he can carry that over to the back in week 6 when he comes back, it will be very dangerous to see, especially with us running a rotation on the defensive line, having those fresh legs and a guy that's just going to come hunt you down. He has that motor.
He does have a motor, and that goes to another. We're going to segment 2, opportunities. Once again, this is the SWOT analysis, the strengths, the weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. We're moving on to opportunities, and one of those is, it's a fully realized an off-season rebuild. It's an infusion of defensive talent. Babbage can expand his playbook. He's mixing in pressure packages, which you already saw in the preseason. Exotic fronts. We're not just a nickel. You saw dime. You saw a bare bones 4-3, of which Andreessen might get some snaps and coverage disguises. I mean, I saw some great actual 4-3 cover 1 bail, but we brought a dog. We brought a dog pressure, and those disguises, are leveraged with this roster update. And to parallel those, the linebacker synergy and veteran savviness. It's a healthy combination of Milano, Bernard, and the emerging athleticism of Joe Andreessen. Babbage has afforded some, flexibility in some of these sub packages and disguise coverages. Andreessen, though inexperienced, thrives on special teams and is gaining trust in camp. Matty Dygert, to you. You're on Andreessen. You're hyper critical of a UDFA who might start for the Rams. Also out of UB. Matty, what do you say about those things?
I mean, as far as Sean Dolek goes, I think that I honestly had him as a 4th round talent when I was drafted, when I put the draft together for my for my big board and everything like that. I really wish the Bills had taken a flyer on him because I think that he is more polished than Joe Andreessen.
Our 6th round pick already.
7th in Caden Prather, but yes,
that makes it worse.
I know it does. But no, I think Sean Dolek should have been taken in anywhere from the 4th on. I think he's much more polished than Joe Andreessen. But I'm excited to see Andreessen, kind of come into his own this year. I'm also excited to see what they're going to do with Shaq Thompson as well. Because Sean McDermott, when he had him in Carolina, Shaq Thompson.
Say it again.
Shaq Thompson.
Why is no one talking about him?
I don't know. I really don't know.
I don't know. Pat, why is no one talking about him?
I don't know, but I do know he's a higher overall in Madden than Terrell Bernard.
But also, too, like when Sean McDermott had him back.
Whoa. Pat, what was your logic again?
No, I don't know why nobody's talking about him. He's a very good veteran. But
that's not what the fuck you said.
No. What I said was
Matt, quit adding words.
You got adding words. Hold him accountable.
You literally said,
I don't know.
But I don't know. But he has a higher overall than Terrell Bernard. That's exactly what you said. Come on.
Which I find crazy.
No, I agree with you. I agree with you on that. But Bernard should be higher rated. But speaking of Madden, stay with Do Champions right after we're done with Third Manageable.
Subscribe from Do Champions.
and watch Pat on the Gridiron Grand Slam. So,
Well, one of the things I yell at Pat about all the time is kind of his rush schemes, and that brings us up another opportunities of which we talked about, the opportunities being enhanced pass rush schemes. We got Bosa, we got Big Phil, Hoyt's coming back in the rotation. Babbage can dial up advanced stunts. We're talking dog rip, pin your ears back. Inside out rushes, overload blitzes, everything in the kitchen, your mother's ass, especially later in the season when Hug returns. I mean, a good friend of the program did really not like Eric Washington and his 3 in and out, no one gets tired shit. I think enhanced pass rushers with the type of caliber players we have is going to be an opportunity. Matt, to you, agree or disagree?
I mean, I got to touch on that real quickly. It just tears. Feel for that friend of the network. With what happened to him. Because it's tough. You're going to be on one of the worst teams in the NFL, unfortunately. But with that being said, I don't know. I really think that having those abilities.
I fucking
I can't stand it. I hate it. I hate it because
why did it happen? He's a 2-time team captain. He just got extended. The Vikings are paying half his fucking salary. Why the fuck I was talking to E. Wood once again. Sorry, analytics. We know people. Friend, how many? We haven't even gone half an episode without saying it. I was talking to E. Wood, and he's just like, I don't know. Why the fuck did that happen?
I honestly don't even know. I mean, the only thing I can think of is maybe the Jets wanted
hold out until you can come back to the Bills.
Yeah, right. I mean, he's gonna be here. He's gonna be here when the Jets play the Bills.
Voice. Pat, use your big boy voice.
Yeah, no, was it to clear up cap space because Minnesota did just trade for Adam Thielen? No, that's all I had to say. Was it because they were trying to clear up cap space to trade for a wide receiver, which they ended up trading for Adam Thielen from Carolina?
%. I really do think that's.
Why did you bail him out? I just wanted him to be uncomfortable.
100%. But no, like, here's the problem, though.
Pat, you're back on third and manageable.
Here's the problem, though, is I do not want to see him in Week 18 against the Bills because he really deserved to be one of the ones to be putting on that red helmet. And I have nothing more to say about that.
Yeah, to add to it too, something that I think is going to be an opportunity, and I'm going to go to Pat right after this. The opportunity of which playoff adjustments. Entering year 2, Babbage understands that adjustments need to close out playoff games, especially given our history, past losses to the Chiefs, and he could borrow those hard lessons. For this home stretch, he really can borrow those lessons, right? There's no better lesson learner than experience.
Yeah, no, you can definitely. One of my favorite sayings is everything's a learning experience if you allow it to be. Now the Bills have played the Chiefs now 4 times in the playoffs, and each time it feels like they lose in a different way. Doesn't matter if it came down to a QB sneak or something, maybe defensively that they could have done differently. And more than just injuries. You have, let's see what you guys are doing here. But yeah. So on top of that,
come on, Pat.
Come
on, Pat. Let's go.
You're with the big boys now. You're not on the painting show. You're with the big boys. Repeat the quote you just said because I think it's brilliant. Everything can be a
learning lesson if you allow it to be. Now, maybe there's something that the Bills defensive line can do differently. Maybe you come at Mahomes a different way. You get pressure with 4 because as we have seen now, with the Bills revamping their defensive line, it seems that they're trying to take the approach that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers had in 2020, what the Eagles had in 2024, which is get pressure with 4 and just go hunt Mahomes down. Now, when you run the rotation,
and where does that pressure come from, Pat? Where does that pressure come from?
Now,
the defensive line. comes from guys
But
like
where?
Ed Oliver.
Where? Come on, analytically think about this. It's okay. We're here to learn, because if you don't know, you're such a big fan. You're such a big fan. Pat, if you don't know, we're not going to sit here and gatekeep. We're not another network where it's predicated that you have to know all these things. If you don't know, I'm going to stick you up on the screen until you figure it out, because Matt or I are going to tell you, right, what we believe. And you're going to digest what we think and form your own opinion. So I'm going to bring you back up on the screen and you tell us.
Yeah, no, I think it starts with, having a healthy defensive line, having guys that are consistently going after rushing the quarterback. Jordan Phillips is the only sack that we had in the AFC Championship game last year, which is crazy to think about. We have guys like Ed Oliver, Greg Rousseau, Von Miller, who was healthy. Now, to answer your question, where does that come from? I think that comes from our new acquisitions of Deion Walker, TJ Sanders, Landon Jackson, and Joey Bosa, as they have had their best games. Well, Joey Bosa's had some of his best games against Kansas City. Now, rotating your defensive line defensive line will also come in the
I'm hopping on. Pat, what I meant by that is, when you watched the Super Bowl last year, where specifically was that rush coming from that affected Mahomes as bad as we saw it affect Tom Brady, as bad as we saw it affect Peyton Manning, as bad as, where is that rush coming from where the Bills have never been able to get a pass rush generated from before?
The edges. It comes from the edges and the tackles. As we saw.
Tackles. Defensive tackles up the middle, because the edges come from the outside and force Mahomes or Brady or Peyton Manning or any of the quarterbacks up in the pocket. And as
Matty,
they do that,
Matty, take this one for a ride, really get into it. Tell us how you feel, man, because I feel like you own this thing as a former D tackle, a guy who could have played Division I sports. Take it for a real walk, man. How do you see it being successful? Go ahead, big dog.
Yeah. So really what I see as being successful is, and I really am glad that Ryan Nielsen is here and coaching these guys, because you saw it a little bit in preseason in a couple of the things that they did, but it's not only stunts, it's playing games. It's showing that you're playing those stunts and actually not doing it. So you're getting the guards and the tackles and the center off their base, so that when they rush, when you rush up the middle, if you're going around outside, those defensive tackles, TJ Sanders, Deion Walker, going around the outside like that and funneling that way, and you have the edges coming in, they're going to be more susceptible to come in, and because the guards are going to go out, edges are going to come in, or vice versa, or you can play different types of stunts and push and pull and everything else. I really think that the pressure from the defensive tackles, you have to have two guys, one guy specifically in the one tech or the zero tech, or in that way that's going to be able to hold guys up, but also two, you got to be able to have those guys be able to funnel up the middle and rush from the middle. That's really where it all comes from. And we saw it really on, and we want to use it as a thing now with the New Jerseys. But we all remember the cold front defense. Where did that pressure come from all the time? Kyle Williams, Marcel Darius, those guys rushing up the middle, and you had Jerry Hughes and Mario Williams to clean up on the outside.
All right, well,
let's ask you a question about that.
Yeah, go ahead. Do it.
So yeah, now obviously we have Ed Oliver as our 3 tech. Now, who would be that proven 1 tech for us? Is it a Daquan Jones or is it Deion Walker?
It depends. I mean, it depends on who's in there at that point, because it's not solely, they're not playing a sole 1 tech, right? In this defense, they're playing to get to the quarterback. They're playing to, yes, we want to get technical. You're going to have a Deion Walker or a Daquan Jones or a TJ Sanders or anybody like that that's going to be lined up in that 1 tech spot, in that nose spot, just depending on where they line up based on what's being called on the field. But that's as far as it goes. You saw what Deion Walker is capable of from either the 1 tech, the 3 tech, the 5 tech, any of those spots, along the defensive line. He is going to be able to take on blocks. He is going to be able to cause havoc. And if they decide, oh, we're only going to block with one guy, he's going to make him look silly. He's going to make him look stupid, and chase down a quarterback. And I if my money was on Deion Walker or Lamar Jackson, and I'm not talking outside. I don't care where Lamar's going. If he gets anywhere in that frame, Deion Walker's going to make that play.
Yes. And I do love how, seeing it from an in-person view and seeing it from, on a TV standpoint of how fast Deion Walker disengages with his blockers. He gets off the line so quick, off his block so quick. And for somebody his size, it's truly crazy to see how fast he moves. Mm-hmm. It is kind of scary.
Well, that can be a threat, but the threats to a Bobby Babbitt's defense, we're gonna go with this is how we round this up is the first bullet point: early season vulnerability. Hoyt's out, suspended. White potentially recovering and configuring into a new role, and the early schedule may expose the secondary. And we wouldn't have brought in Jordan Poyer if we didn't have some reconfiguring to do with new roles. We did it last year in the late season when we saw, some volatility in the safety role. It doesn't set a negative tone, but we're trying to right the ship. But I do think a threat is going to be early season vulnerability with people that can't be on the field due to suspension or injury. Matty Daggert, we go to you. What do you think about that?
I really think the biggest threat to this team is the availability. We always say it here, best ability is availability, and it is going to prove right again. DeMar Hamlin in spots to come in and play that, down in the box safety, the guy that makes those tackles. He does a great job at rushing the quarterback from that spot. He does a great job from making tackles and making plays, punching the ball out, things like that. But they can't have him 30 yards back downfield and keeping things in front of him, because he's never going to make those plays in front of him, with that in coverage. So you need to have somebody like your Cole Bishop, your second round pick that you just took last year. He has to step up and play. You have to have your guys like Deion Walker. You have to have your guys like TJ Sanders. You have to have your guys like Landon Jackson, who you just took this year with Michael Hoyt and Larry Ogunjobi out. You got to have those guys step up and next man up mentality always. And those are the guys that really are going to be relied on, specifically, including potentially Dorian Strong, 6th round rookie this year, Virginia Tech. They may need to call on him if Trey White or Trey White's out any longer. Jamarcus Ingram also need him to step up as well. Some of these guys are going to be thrust into roles that are going to be very relied on this year in the early going.
Yeah. So before we go into our best case or where the wobble comes from, we're just going to acknowledge the people that pay the bills here. By the way, shout out Pay the Bills podcast with Mike Bunt and over those guys. Matt, if you're real quick, just pump Trainwreck Sports real quick, because
they're great. They do all the stuff. They cover the Bills. They do the wing reviews. They do everything that is Buffalo, and they try and take advantage of everything that they possibly can. And they're a great network to work with, and I'm excited that partnership is growing.
Yeah. So here's some people who sponsor us. For the best Italian food in Western New York, Elliot Apollos, call 716-825-3675. The Lardon Construction Group.
Fubo TV, the official streaming service of Do Champions. FanDuel, the official sportsbook of Do Champions.
For all your summertime needs, beauty pools, as well as kayak pools.
CX Chronicles, your total customer solutions focused manager. W.GG, the official energy drink of Do Champions.
Hey, Sons of Erie, our artwork looks better on your walls. Hamburg Brewing, please visit our tap room on Boston State Road, Hamburg, New York. And finally,
Fat Boy Surf Club for all your surfing needs.
And I go ahead.
Go fuck it. Go ahead. You got something to say, dude? We had like 30 seconds to fucking to figure out how we're gonna intro back into the show. But
no. All I was gonna say is I just want to say one thing.
Sweetie, go ahead. We do this every week.
I want to say, and nothing you don't. I want to say one thing though. Everybody's so worried about week 1. Don't be.
Shut
the Bills,
the fuck up.
No, and I'm being serious. Like, you lose to the Ravens, it's one game. It's the beginning of the season. You have 16 more games. You have 16 more games left, and yeah, stop it. It's not a joke.
See, Matt, I agree with you. But what if it
I'm
comes down
out.
to a tiebreaker and you
Anyway,
need
you're
that
pissed.
win against Baltimore? You need that win against Baltimore.
This
It comes
fucking
down to a tiebreaker. I
shit
mean,
means something.
I
Hey,
didn't say.
hey, donkeys. We were a 2 point. We were a tight end drop away from losing to them. It sets the tone. Don't say shit. It matters. It's so hard to win in the NFL. It matters. Don't get into the mentality, boys. This is the crew. This is the Duke crew. Need you on the same wavelength. Don't think we handled them last year. I'm serious, boys. It matters. Go ahead.
Didn't say it didn't matter. Didn't say it didn't matter one bit. I just said that it's one game. Let's not lose our complete minds if they lose. So that's all I'm saying is let's just this is going to be a very, very good team. This is going to be a very, very good year. If because Trey White's out, because rookies are playing early, things like that, and you lose to them, let's not make a bigger deal out of it than it actually is. It's one game. Yes, it matters, but it's one game. We have 16 more left. Let's go week to week. Yes, it happened, but let's continue moving forward.
I do want to bring a point that's serious.
Shit. Okay, that's fine.
As far as
All right, but can we
were a
agree?
tight
Can we
end-
agree on one thing? Can we agree on one thing first? It comes from the Almighty.
From what got cut from the Browns. Like, no disrespect to the Browns, but if you get cut from the Browns, man, it's probably Toronto Argonauts for you after that. I mean, it's just not many teams worse than that Browns roster.
It's probably curtains.
Oh, I was not expecting.
Yeah. Matt. It's probably
curtains.
Can
But
we,
yeah,
wait, can we shout them out real quick? Wednesdays.
yeah. Wednesday 9 p.m. Coast to Coast podcast with the Almighty Whittle and
The Almighty.
Beyond 716.
He's gonna be here for the opener.
I know he is.
I've never met him. Yo, what was it like meeting Whittle, by the way, in person?
It was
man?
great. It was great. It was great.
Tell it real time before we wrap this up. We're probably gonna go for another 15 minutes, but tell him real quick why we are maniacal defenders of the Almighty Whittle and why we call him the Almighty. Because we got the platform.
Because he's great. Whittle is the man. Like he is just he's great guy. Great to hang out with. And it's just he's a lot of fun to hang out with, and he knows ball. And
I believe the quote is from Beyond. Yo, if anybody's not listening, Will watches a lot of football. By the way, rest in peace, the fucking Hookums today. I lost a little bit of my fucking money today.
Hey, Doug Worthington, OH baby.
IO. We should get Dougie Style on, but tell him what my infinite parlay is for every season. Yo, did you see what Monmouth did last night?
No, I didn't actually. But you're infinite.
Monmouth down 14 last night to Colgate. Come back and win them.
Awesome.
Win them. So I thought the Burnt Orange was gonna get it done.
I mean,
By the way,
don't hate me.
Arch Manning, shut the fuck up. Like, for you to comment that he's not coming out, what happens if the Saints get the first pick? You're trying to tell me he has a better game than he does today, that he's not coming out? What the fuck? Like, just let the boys play.
I didn't say that.
That was for Arch. That was for Arch.
Oh,
Manning.
yeah.
But we'll get big DW on soon.
don't be mad at me, Will. Like, every other game, hook 'em horns. Let's go. Let's go. But, not when it comes down to the OH, baby. OHIO, baby. Let's go. Let's go, Buckeyes.
Let's bring it back. Fuck the rest of this SWOT analysis. Give me the peak in the pit. The peak in the pit. The peak in the pit is it's sponsored by Sons of Erie. It's an art house where everything you need. It's sponsored by Fubo TV.
You're gonna hate me.
The peak in the pit of the off season. The peak in the pit of the off season up to here.
The entire off season is the pit.
Hey, sweetie. We'll go to Pat first, okay? You're on mute. Okay, I feel like Tony Reali. You're on pit. Give me the peak of the pit. Pat, give me the peak of the offseason and the pit in the offseason. The peak, which makes you think that we'll usurp to Super Bowl heights in the pit. That makes you think, man, just not this year. Give me the peak of the pit, baby.
Yeah, for the peak, I'll start with the pit. With the pit, I think it's our safety room. When you look at guys, like DeMar Hamlin, who he's a good football player, but if you look at him in the preseason, he didn't look that good. Missing tackles left and right. So for me, that would be the peak, the pit. Now the peak, I think, is Joey Bosa. I think if Joey Bosa can stay healthy, and we did get him on a 1-year deal, $11 million. But if he can stay healthy, that is what we have been looking for from a pass rusher for the last 6 years. Because if he stays healthy, he is a top 10 pass rusher. And what have we been missing in the playoffs? A premier pass rusher, a closer. That's what Von Miller was supposed to be, but then he got derailed with the ACL injury. So my peak is Joey Bosa, the signing of Joey Bosa.
Going to Matt. Peak in the pit.
Yeah.
This offseason. The peak in the pit of this offseason. The peak in the pit.
Honestly, I'll tell you, one week left, 1 week out. The entire offseason was the pit. Not necessarily what happened off the field for the Bills, moves, anything like that. But this 9 months or 8 months or 7 months or whatever it is in between no football and football is just absolutely like, holy cow. It's the longest time of the year, and the peak is finally next week. Football is back.
I'm going to be honest with you right here. My peak is that. You mind if I do it? Swim one for my dad. He'd want it. One of the last conversations, I lost my dad, recently. He thought this core group could do it. Now we're getting more pieces back of the core group. That's my peak. My pit. Harrison, come home. Harrison, just fucking come home, baby. So anything you guys want to add to this? Man, Pat, I think you're back on the Third Management Podcast.
Sounds good with me.
We'll go through contract negotiations. Anything we missed? Anything we missed?
No, I think we got everything.
Honestly, this has been the most enjoyable hour 45 I've done in a while. Anybody that's stuck with us, fucking love it. It's Matt. It's everything you need.
Nothing you don't.
Best ability.
Availability.
And Khalil Shakir forces you to defend
every blade of grass.
Because it's
good to be seen.
Good to be seen.
Pat, you want to do it real quick?
Let's do it.
The Bills make me wanna kick your heels up and throw your hands up and throw your head back.
You've been listening to the Third and Manageable Podcast. You can find him at Matt Dygert on Twitter. You can find me at Student Body RGHT and at Pat Bruckness. Hey, Matt, you want to do it with me?
Let's go.
Hey yo, Pat.
It's good to be seen.